I've removed the salary cap from the NHL and every single team's going to have unlimited cap space. We're going to watch some super teams form over the next 3 seasons. Let's get right into it. The New Jersey Devils are going to get the first overall pick, but we don't care about that. Let's get right into free agency. DeBrincat's returned to Ottawa on a 6-year deal worth $10.4 million, while John Klingberg's off to the Pittsburgh Penguins on a 4-year deal worth $7.75 million. Killorn's off to Vegas and he's getting an absolute bag. 4 years at $11.3 million. How did you just secure that? Did you score 120 points last season? Because unless you did, there's no way you should have got that bag. But hey, I respect it. Pacioretty's joining an already great New York Rangers team on a 1-year deal worth $7.4 million, while Dumba's off to the rebuilding Canadiens on a 5-year deal worth $7.3 million. The New York Rangers are making another massive splash. They're bringing in Joe Pavelski on a 2-year deal worth $5 million, while Michael Bunting's heading back to Arizona on a 4-year deal worth $6 million per. Why would you do that to yourself, my guy? I'm sorry, my guy, but what are you doing? Shane Gostisbehere is going to join the Seattle Kraken on a 5-year deal worth $5.7, while Severson's off to the Winnipeg Jets on a 6x6. Speaking of the Winnipeg Jets, you might not have heard, but I'm trying to pass them in YouTube subscribers, so if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you can be notified of when I upload. And then Krejci, he's joined the Minnesota Wild on a 1-year deal worth $5.8 million. Taking a look at goaltenders, Samsonov's returned to the Leafs for $6 million per year for the next 3, Varlamov's off to Chicago for $3 million per year for the next 2, and Nedeljkovic, he's going to be the man in Colorado, 2 years at $3.7 million. So I think the Rangers have to be the team to beat this season. They have all the right pieces here, they just need to win when it matters most. But in saying that, why the heck is Joe Pavelski a healthy scratch? This man is one of the best players on your team. You have a 79 overall playing over him. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the halfway point, and then we'll see how some of the teams are doing and who's leading each conference. Tampa Bay is currently controlling the East with a 32-8-2 record, while the New York Rangers aren't too far behind with a 27-8-4 record. And in the West, the Avs of course are leading the way, 25-13-4. That should be no surprise. Mikko Rantanen is leading the way, 18 goals and 36 assists for 54 points. And over in the East, Austin Matthews is doing his thing, 60 goals and 32 helpers for 28 points. So I guess Joe Pavelski is just going to sit the entire season because he hasn't played one game so far. That's absolutely ridiculous. He's one of the best players on this team. What's going on over in New York? I also find it very funny how Patrick Maroon's currently on the second line for Tampa. It's Patrick Maroon. I love the big rig, but he's not a second line left winger, let's be real. So now that we have an idea of how all the teams are doing, we'll simulate to the end of the season and see who finishes at the top. When the season came to an end, Tampa's finishing with a 57-22-3 record, while the Avs are first in the West with a 54-22-6 record. Taking a look at the entire league, Patrick Kane's going to be leading all scorers with 60 goals and 52 helpers for 112 points, while Pasta's not too far behind with 110 points. And not too far behind Pasta is going to be Austin Matthews, 58 goals and 51 helpers for 109 points. Erik Karlsson's leading the defense somehow. I don't know how. 101 points, 15 goals, 86 assists. How is Erik Karlsson always putting up elite numbers, even though he hasn't put up numbers like this in over 5 years now? He's an elite defenseman when he's healthy, but he hasn't been healthy in a long time. I would love to see him healthy though. Bounce back, my guy. I want to see a great season out of you. And leading all goaltenders, it should be no surprise, that's Andrei Vasilevskiy, 47 wins, a .916 save percentage, a .261 goals against. Great work, my guy. So if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season who's going to win the Stanley Cup, I would have went with the New York Rangers. But now that Joe Pavelski's not playing, I think I got to go with the Colorado Avalanche. The Avs put up a good fight, but they're going to fall in the conference finals, and Toronto's going to beat Calgary in 7 games to hoist back-to-back Stanley Cups. Mitch Marner's going to be the guy, 7 goals and 25 helpers for 32 points, while Samsonov's picking up 16 wins with a .915 save percentage and a .272 goals against. Looking at the draft lottery, Washington's jumping from 10-1, but we got some massive moves going on. Austin Matthews, after winning back-to-back Stanley Cups with Toronto, he's going to leave and he's going to join the Anaheim Ducks on a 7-year deal worth $13.7 million per year. Go secure the bag, my guy. Pedersen's going to stay in Vancouver for 7 years at $10.3 million. Keep in mind he was an RFA, so he probably wasn't going to leave. Aho's going to go get the bag from Columbus, $10.6 million per year for the next 7, while Lindholm, after falling in the Stanley Cup final just a couple days ago, he's going to go join Vegas on a 7-year deal worth $10.9 million. William Nylander, another player that was just in the Stanley Cup final, but on the winning side, he's leaving to join the Dallas Stars on a 7-year deal worth $11.4 million per year. If you thought Tampa couldn't get any better, they just did. Jake Getzel's going to sign a 7-year deal worth $8.8 million. This team's absolutely elite now. I don't see anyone stopping them. Ross Levick, he's going to get a bag, $9.4 million per year for the next 5. Hartman, he's also getting a bag, $9.5 million per year for the next 3. David Krejci, he's going to sign a 1-year deal worth $8.1 million, while Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be the only notable goalie. He's off to Seattle on a 2-year deal worth $4.5 million per. So I gotta say the Ducks have to be the favorite going into the season with all the moves they made. But the Tampa Bay Lightning just picked up Jake Getzel, so they made a great team even better. But the Rangers, I think they're going to be held back by poorly set up lines. Like, what's this? You have Joe Pavelski on the 4th line and then Chris Kreider on the 3rd. How do you expect to succeed with that? At the halfway point, the Leafs are looking dominant with a 37-4 record, while the Flames are first in the West with a 24-13-5 record. Wasn't expecting that. Mikko Rantanen, he's going to be leading at the halfway point once again for the West, 21 goals and 42 assists for 63 points, while Steven Stamkos, he's picked up 27 goals and 30 helpers for 57 points. So heading towards the end of the season, I think the Rangers could make a push for the cup, but they gotta fix those lines. They have all the right pieces, but I don't know what they're doing. The Leafs are gonna dominate in the East, and they're gonna finish at the top of the conference with a 51-20-11 record, while the Avs are finishing first in the West with a 48-26-8 record. Steven Stamkos was the guy this season, 120 points consisting of 57 goals and 63 assists, while Patrick Kane, he's potting 65 goals while picking up 53 helpers for 118 points. And David Pastrnak, he's gonna round the top 3 with 116 points. Cale Makar is gonna be leading the defense this time around. That makes a bit more sense. 12 goals and 74 assists for 86 points, while Vasilevsky's once again leading all goaltenders in wins, 45 with a 906 save percentage and a 281 goals against. So heading into the playoffs, I think I'm gonna go with Tampa to win the Stanley Cup. They just made a great team even stronger. They added Jake Getzel. They have all the right pieces. I don't think anyone could stop them. And it looks like I'm right. They're taking the Stanley Cup home, taking down the San Jose Sharks in 7 games. How did San Jose make it this far though? Because they're not that great of a team. Leading all postseason scores is going to be Braden Point. He's picking up 8 goals and 20 helpers for 28 points. And Vasilevsky, 15 wins, a 906 save percentage, a 297 goals against. Congrats on your 3rd Stanley Cup. Looking at the draft lottery results, Philly's jumping from 7-1. But who cares? David Krejci's off to Vegas on a 2-year deal worth $7.5 million. Konecny's going to join an already stacked Colorado team, 4 years at $7.8 million, while Dvorak's joined the Islanders on a 3-year deal worth $7.8 million. Jacob Slavin's going to go join the Florida Panthers and try to help the defense, $7 million per year for the next 4, while Nedeljkovic, he's signing a 5x5. So after being upset in the first round last season, I think the Ducks are ready to bounce back. And Florida, I thought you would be competing for a cup, but now that I know what your defense looks like, yeah, you're competing for the 1st overall pick. And the Colorado Avalanche, I'm not going to question this team. They're looking more elite than usual, so they're going to dominate. At the halfway point, I'm surprised. The Leafs continue to be good, 27-11-4. They've lost so many players, but yet they continue to dominate. While the Avs, they're first in the West with a 28-8-4 record. Austin Matthews is dominating the West right now, 30 goals and 27 helpers for 57 points, while Mitch Marner is doing what he can in the East, 60 goals consisting of 20 goals and 40 helpers. When the season came to an end, the New York Rangers are finishing first in the East, 52-25-5. The Ducks are at the top of the West with a 49-27-6 record. At the top of the league, it's Austin Matthews. He's potting 65 goals and picking up 53 helpers for 118 points, while Trevor Zegras is coming in second, not too far behind, 112 points consisting of 33 goals and 79 assists, while Kyle Connor, he's rounding out the top 3 with 106 points. Once again, Cale Makar is leading all defensemen, 17 goals and 68 assists for 85 points, while Igor Shesterkin, he's picking up 14 wins, a 911 save percentage and 287 goals against. Great work, my guy. So I'm really contemplating between Anaheim and Tampa right now, but I think I have to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've proved they can be that team, and I don't think anyone can really stop them. But we can't forget about the Colorado Avalanche. They picked up Konecny last season, and they still have their entire core together, so this is really between 3 teams. So when all was said and done, the Colorado Avalanche are going to be falling to the Anaheim Ducks in 7 games, while Tampa's falling to the Detroit Red Wings in 6. So that means your Stanley Cup champs are going to be the Anaheim Ducks, taking the Detroit Red Wings down in 6 games. Zegras was the guy, 8 goals, 21 assists, 29 points, great work. And John Gibson, he's hoisting his 1st Stanley Cup, 16 wins, a 916 save percentage, a 266 goals against. You deserve it, my guy. Nah, but real talk here, how was New York this bad? They should have won at least 2 Stanley Cups. And what was that lineup management? Chris Kreider on the 3rd line and Joe Pavelski on the 4th? No wonder you guys saw no success. You were just plain stupid out there.